So what brings us here today? We have 15 days left of the school year. And as I've spoken with Chief Blackeye, he lets me know that yes, it's not usually the last week because everyone's kind of there, but it's the weeks coming to prior to the close of school where we need to be vigilant around our schools, making sure that our students are safe. When driving around our schools, today, tomorrow, a year from now, 5 years from now, we need to be mindful. And I say that in the big we. When I was driving into work today, I was thinking, if everyone just took 10 minutes when they're on the road, 10 minutes prior to being on the road, and thinking about where they are they ready to get on the road, or maybe they don't need to get on the road? Maybe they need to call an Uber, a Lyft, a friend, something, or not get on the road at all. And sometimes too, an extra 10 minutes getting ready prior to and not rushing. This morning when I was driving, and this is what made me think about it, there was a work truck. It was, I don't know how many yards, maybe from the distance of that sign ahead of me, and it was moving what would appear to be slow because everyone else was moving a lot faster around this truck. And when we stopped at the stoplight, it was actually a CCSD truck. And I was thankful that our own staff was minding the speed, as they should each and every day, but I got to witness it as someone traveling our roads in Las Vegas. But everyone in our community, if you think about it, just left 10 minutes earlier for wherever you need to be. You're not feeling rushed to get where you're at. You arrive early, and you can text message once you arrive early. You can greet and say hello to those people, your colleagues, prior to. So I just share that as, Todd's probably going, that's not in the script. But that's okay. I share it as a moment that if we slow down, all of us will be safe. Our children will be safe, our teachers, our community as a whole, everyone, and we can relax while we're on the road and pay attention to what's going on. So we're focused on our school safety. See something, say something. Again, I'm very honored that we have all of our partners here today. We also have Trustee Biasotti here this morning as well. I'm thankful for her support and all of our board members. And so with that, we made the determination to have Lindsay Tomlinson join us this morning. She is the Region 1 Superintendent. She has been working closely with the students there and the members of staff and our principal, our amazing principal. So Lindsay, will you please share the work that we've been doing at our review since last Friday?
Good morning, and I'm excited to be here today to share everything that's going on at our Review High School. I wanted to start by acknowledging and saying the moment that we were made aware of the incident last Friday, social workers and our crisis team went right out to our Review High School. They have been there nonstop, supporting our students, our staff, and our community with anybody that needs anything additional. Additionally, Saturday night, we actually had prom for our Review High School, and at our Review High School's prom, we made sure that social workers were there to ensure that the students could continue to have a fun night, but also have the support that they needed. Coming back to school on Monday, the team, my own Region 1 team, all of us were there, as well as the crisis workers and social workers as well. And we also had a memorial softball game held, and the news was there, so I saw that on the news. During that time, we had a moment of silence, and ribbons were in the hairs of our players from both teams to honor and commemorate Mackenzie, as well as social workers were present at that event. The student council has put a memorial out in front of the school, so if you drive by, there are cards and pens for students and community members to be able to leave a message. The school has been working very, very closely with the student's family. They have decided to have a yearbook for her. So every student in the high school will be having the opportunity to sign that yearbook, and that yearbook will be provided to the family in the next couple weeks. And we will be honoring Mackenzie at the graduation. We are doing it in the means that the mother of the child would like. So the principal has been working very closely at speaking with her daily on things that we can do to support the family. Additionally, Mr. Bickmore, the principal of the high school, he has been connecting with community members, students, family members, anybody that reaches out to him. And personally myself, any student that has reached out to me, I've gone to Riverview High School, I met with them, I talked with them, listened to them advocate, and in fact, that's where I came from this morning. I've been at Riverview High School all morning. And I just want to reiterate what the community, the school, the students, they all want is just really for everybody to slow down, to ensure that we are careful around our school zones, not only Riverview High School, but all school zones in the Clark County School District. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Chief Blackeye.
Good morning. All right, as we quickly approach the end of the 2024-2025 school year, I want to thank our law enforcement partners here today for the support they've given us throughout this school year to get us here today. As we head into the final weeks, their support will be needed to increase the presence in and around our schools throughout the valley. This is something we do every year, as you know, through the School Violence Initiative, in a partnership with our fellow law enforcement agencies, to help ensure a safe transition into the summer months. This collaboration also continues throughout the summer months as well. We do have summer school going on, there's other events throughout town, and kids are going to be out and about. As such, our regular school year may be ending. However, summer programs, like I said, will continue. Students will be out walking to and from school, so please remain vigilant and cautious. And as our Superintendent Ebert recently said, I'm going to quote her, please remain vigilant and cautious, especially in the areas near our schools. The safety of our students is a shared responsibility. We must continue working together to protect and support them. As drivers, we can do this by being patient, slowing down, and putting your phone down. Inattentive driving is the cause of the majority of these accidents that are causing the harm and injuries to our students. This year, right now, there's been 113 incidents of traffic accidents around our schools where students have been struck by vehicles on their way to or from school. It is a decrease from last year of 139. But although we've seen that decrease, one incident is too many. Our primary focus right now is to support the students and staff of Riverview High School. We can all relate, as we graduated high school, losing one of our classmates just before the end of the school year. So that support is paramount, so they can have a successful graduation and entry into adulthood. Additionally, traffic engineers from the city of Las Vegas have been at Riverview High School conducting a study. This is not a new practice. This is part of their Vision Zero program that's available on the cityoflasvegas.gov website. You can see all the information regarding their Vision Zero program. It'll tell you about their problem, over 10,000 accidents, the number of fatalities they're dealing with, the bike and pedestrian fatalities that they've been dealing with in the city of Las Vegas. So those efforts are not new, and it's a collaborative approach with the government agencies throughout the valley. We will, in the next weeks to come, be working with the county to help form some type of regional effort of traffic safety around our schools, and news of that will be forthcoming. As a department and as a school district, we teach zero teen fatalities in our schools to help our young drivers with the things like buckling up, driving sober, focus on the road, slowing down, and keeping your cool. Patience is a factor in one of these accidents. We teach thousands of students each year, those that are 15, 16 years of age, approaching those driving years. Those tips to help them be safe drivers out there. We also teach our younger students safe routes to school, pedestrian and bike safety when they're entering our intersections, coming to and from school. Unfortunately, these efforts do not stop irresponsible driving, impairment, which all too often become a factor in the death of our students. This year also, we've added more traffic officers to our motor unit. This increased to 25% more enforcement activities in and around our schools this year alone. As always, parents continue to stay on top of the activities of your children by monitoring their social media, knowing their whereabouts, and who they're with. Parents, remind your children that if they see something, say something. Report any suspicious activity to a responsible adult, to police, or through Safe Voice, which is also available throughout the summer months as well. These tips are always important, but especially during our traditional times of the school year. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Captain Esparza with Metro.
Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon, all. My name is Noé Esparza, and I'm a captain with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, currently assigned to the Northwest Area Command. It's tough to believe that another school year is coming to an end. As a parent with children in the Clark County School District, I understand the responsibility well, that we all share that responsibility for the safety of our children and students. It is important that everyone work together to cultivate a safe environment. This includes our educators, students, parents, and community leaders. As we have done in previous years, we will have an increased police presence as students arrive and leave their schools' campuses. We will also be conducting extra patrols in the surrounding neighborhoods to ensure the safety of all students before and after school. We want parents to be aware of this and not be concerned when they see the additional police presence at or around your children's school. At the beginning of the year, our sheriff, Sheriff Kevin McMahill, made lowering traffic fatalities a priority. For the parents and the motorists driving around the schools, I ask you to please slow down, pay full attention to the roadways. But I also want to talk directly to the parents and urge all of you to discuss the importance of following traffic laws while riding bicycles, e-bikes, and e-scooters. It is the responsibility of the rider to understand and abide by all traffic laws while riding on the roadways. This means going with the flow of traffic, stopping at stop signs, and walking your bicycle or scooter while in a crosswalk. We don't want to lose any more of our young lives. We can prevent some of these traffic collisions. As we look ahead into the summer months, we want to reinforce our commitment to safety through vigilance and active involvement. Success requires thorough community support. I cannot overstate how important your role in this collective endeavor is. We need you to be our eyes and ears. We need you to embrace the principle. If you see something, say something. I want to thank you all for the dedication to the safety of our children and students. I wish you all a happy, fun, but most importantly, a safe summer. Thank you.
Okay, questions? Justin.
Yeah, so I was at Arbor View the other day, so it's kind of a two-parter, walking with some of the parents and the students and talking about the dangerous intersection that exists right in front of the school. There was a Metro officer that was on a motorcycle, but even with that presence, we saw a vehicle turn. We're already clearing the crosswalk, caused a lot of fear and concern from the parents and the students that were there. I'm curious, first part, the Metro's response, what should they be doing additionally above and beyond their presence there, are they also supposed to be writing tickets because nothing happened in that moment? I don't know if you saw it or didn't see it. And then for you, Superintendent, you were part two. Are there conversations with lawmakers to try and increase funding for maybe school guards at the high school level? I know they're just at the elementary school level and then some of the middle schools at the county.
Thank you for the question, sir. I can assure you that your police department, all our local agencies, are fantastic working partners, and we take these fatalities seriously. No young lady should lose her life 2 weeks from graduation. She has all her aspirations ahead, all her dreams ahead of her, or is a very tragic and terrible act. With that being said, sir, we take traffic safety seriously. And I want to make a call to the community. We as a community have to come together. We have to stop irresponsible driving practices. When a 17-year-old young lady loses her life, it affects all of us. The community is hurting. We grieve with the family. We grieve with our students at Arbor High School. From a law enforcement perspective, I can assure you that we are doing our very best, working in collaboration with all our local agencies, with School PD, U.S. Marshals, and so forth. And we will continue to do that so that we can find the right strategies, the right efforts to prevent these types of traffic fatalities.
To the resource question, that's something that we've been working on. It's not new, right? The captain, well, thank you, Captain, and also our captain mentioned Vision Zero, right? Where they are tracking, and you could go and look and find all of those components. And so it's finding the resources, allocating the resources, and making sure that we're supporting our entire community in this work for our children to be safe. So yes, in answer to your question, but I really want to double down on what has been said this morning, is that this is all of us slowing down, taking the extra 10 minutes to make sure that we arrive where we need to be on time and that we're safe and healthy.
Yeah, so we've heard about from parents that there were previous complaints about this specific crosswalk at Arborview. When did the district know that those complaints were made? How many complaints were made? Who made them? And what is specifically being done right now outside of the study that was mentioned?
Yeah, so I stated yesterday, we are looking into the complaints that have been made. We have a tally that is very small, actually, and that's more recent than it is old. So some of those complaints we will be following up with and incorporating those into the conversations that we're having with the municipal partners as to what that looks like and what strategy, and working with the traffic engineers going forward and what can be done specific to that structure.
Just to follow up on that, I mean, as someone, let's say you're the parent sending this and then the complaints are not, you have to go through and even see if there's complaint. Doesn't that kind of send the message that we're sending complaints and then they're not seen until after an accident already happens?
So, like I said, we are looking into all of the communication that we have received. Those will be included in our research as we look at how the strategy to fix the situation. What does that look like? Working with traffic engineers, what does that look like as far as what is the specifics with the traffic patterns at that particular location? And we will be taking all of our schools across the district.
Yeah, as far as the crossing guard situation, what does that process look like? I understand it goes to the county, different municipalities as well. It's not just within the CCSD. So is the goal, maybe the timeline, to try to go through county channels and maybe get more crossing guards, put them at, for example, high school, dangerous crossings like that one at Arborview? What's the plan look like? What's the timeline?
Yeah, so crossing guards are a municipal program. Each jurisdiction is responsible across awards. We've had those in elementary schools. They were expanded recently in some of the jurisdictions to middle schools. Again, that will be an all-in approach that we look at. Are crossing guards necessary, at particular schools, depending on the traffic patterns of signing these state roadways.
And of course, I imagine the study might be done this summer. You say you're looking into that. Do you take parents into account when it comes to that? We've got a lot of calls for crossing guards there, and even flashing lights. Of course, again, that's more city as opposed to CCSD. But I imagine maybe you're working with county and city officials in order to get those resources.
Yes, always,
Is that right?
always working with all of our municipal partners, right, on what the roadway, the traffic patterns, the strategies that we could deploy to each one of those school sites. That conversation is ongoing, and it will continue, and we will, when we determine what the factors are, working with traffic engineers specific to our review or any other school sites that we can identify.
And just last follow-up on that, for parents wondering when this might happen, for example, if it's by the time next school year starts, are you able to comment on that?
It'll be over the summer.
Has there been like policy for our requirements breaking within like high schools versus middle schools, elementary?
Yeah, I think specifically that decision has not been made. The decision had been made at the municipal level. Middle schools did not have crossing guards until just this school year, and again, it's not in every jurisdiction. So that's a decision that has to be made by the municipality, either the city or
So just to clarify from Tiffany's question, complaints about prior accidents where kids were injured at that same crosswalk are being looked into now for the first time after the death?
So each incident is handled individually when it comes to those situations. In the most recent incidents, Las Vegas Mission Hollow Police Department was the investigative agency. We were not at the CCSD, and so working with our law enforcement partners to see what those incident reports look like, where there could be improvements made, but looking at all of that in totality and taking that into account.
Like I just add, what I said about Vision Zero, regardless of the complaint coming in, each and every incident accident is evaluated. And the strategies from that effort are evaluated, and the traffic engineers make those recommendations for improvements to traffic control devices, crosswalks, things like that, and even education efforts to help decrease the amount of folks hit and injured and killed, on our streets each and every day. Just not in Las Vegas, but throughout about it.
Chief, while you're at the podium, I was going to ask you, I noticed that the number of guns that were found on campuses has declined for this time last year. What do you attribute that to?
A number of things. Through our Department of School Safety, headed up by Mike Casey and Jay Beasley and Tony Barnes, our emergency manager. It's a layered approach, as you know, with safety around our schools. However, we can't talk about those specific measures to jeopardize the safety of our students and our schools. I can say that layered approach is effective. I believe the Faraday bags, where those signal blocking for the cell phones, has an impact. The number of responsible adults out there on the streets, those from crosswalk safety to with crossing guards, play a role. Our increased measures at our sites play a role in that. The 1,500 classroom sniffs that our canine officers perform each and every day. Well, they do about 4 a day in our schools, along with the random search program. Our arrival searches or classroom searches, those all play a role in decreasing the number of firearms we have obtained on our campuses. I'm cautious when I talk about that number because, as you know, throughout the history here, we can get 4 in 1 day, but it hasn't happened this year. So those types of incidents, hopefully, are long gone. We will continue to improve the physical security measures in and around our schools each year, with the availability of funding, obviously. But in years past, I also think that the increase in campus security monitors on our campuses has played a role too. And the training provided to them through the Department of School Safety has helped with that effort as well. And if you've looked at our numbers, you've seen the decrease over the past 3 years, and we're excited about that and hope that trend continues.
And was it last school year that you had the significant increase in the number of campus monitors that you had on the campuses?
Yes, it was last year.
Last question.
I have a question actually about Bailey Middle School. We found out that a few weeks ago a parent made it into a classroom trying to shoot and kill the teacher. And they're still being told that the fence that they believe they've been asking for several years won't go up until 2017. Is there any possibility of actually bringing that or having that completed faster because of the scenario that happened and because of the ongoing concerns by staff and students? And what is the update on fences and single point of entries? Do we know the number of schools that have each of them already in place at this point?
So I think the projected timeline for Bailey specifically is 2027.
I'm sorry, 2037, yeah.
And so that schedule has already been predetermined, but we don't provide the specifics necessarily because of the safety component involved in those upgrades. So we're very well aware of the situation in Bailey Middle School. It is on the same timeline that it has been on, would remain at that timeline.
And there's no possibility of speeding it up because of the incident and because of ongoing concerns?
Not specific to that incident, but it will remain on the same timeline that it's been. Thank you, everybody.
There's Spanish.